lecture, we have studied the Fourier series, how to find the coefficient of Fourier series A0, AN and Bn. Now we take example to show how we can represent a function in the form of Fourier series. Let's example that function f of x is x plus x square in the interval x belongs to minus pi to pi. तो यहाँ आपको ये फंक्शन है f of x equals to x plus x square. इस फंक्शन को we have to represent in the form of Fourier series. तो we know that what is the Fourier series? A function of x defined in interval minus pi to pi can be represented in the form of Fourier series such that a0 equals to alpha 1 to infinity an cos of nx plus bn sin of nx, where x is minus pi to pi and where a0 is 1 upon pi 2 pi minus pi to pi f of x dx an equals to 1 upon pi minus pi to pi f of x cos of nx dx, and bn is what? Bn is 1 upon pi minus pi to pi f of x sin of nx dx. तो किसी भी फंक्शन को we can represent in a Fourier series form applying these and finding the values of a0, an and bn using these formulas. So here first of all we will find a0. Here what is our f of x? F of x is x plus x square. Putting it in formula a0 1 upon 2 pi minus pi to pi f of x is what? X plus x square dx can be written as 1 upon 2 pi minus pi to pi x dx plus minus pi to pi x square dx. इसे हम ऐसे लिख सकते हैं. Now this is what we know that 1 upon 2 pi. This integration minus pi to pi x dx is what? Here x is what? X is even from the odd function क्योंकि x equals to minus x put करेंगे ना. This is odd function. So using the odd function property, this integration is 0. And x square is what? X square is even function. So this integration becomes 0 to pi twice times 0 to pi x square dx can be written as 1 upon 2 pi into 2 x square is what? X cube over 3 0 to pi 2 से 2 cancel. This is pi q over 3 into 1 upon pi pi q over 3 or pi. This is pi square by 3. So what is your a0? Here our a0 is pi square by 3. Now we will find an. Now putting it formula of an. So now what is our an? An equals to 1 upon pi minus pi to pi. F of x is what? X plus x square into cos of nx dx. This is our formula of an. So it can be written as 1 upon pi minus pi to pi. This is x cos of nx dx plus minus pi to pi x square cos of nx dx. Now here our function cos 0 using the basic integration property. X square is what? Even function. Cos function is what? Even function. So even and even is again what? Even function. So applying the properties of integration, it can be written as 1 upon pi minus pi to pi 1 upon pi. This integration is 0 and this is due to the minus a to a f of x dx equals to twice times 0 to a f of x dx, applying this. So this is twice times 0 to pi x square cos of n x dx. Solving this using by parts, it can be written as 2 upon pi integration. First of all, this is your first part and this is second part. Resting first part and integrating second part. X square cos n x integration is sin n x over and minus sign. Integration of x square can differentiate करेंगे. This is twice time. Cos का हमने किया तो this is sin n x over n. dx limit is 0 to pi. Can be written as twice time over pi integration x square sin n x over n minus, now again taking it is as first function and taking it as second function sin n x. So this is what minus twice time x as it is. Cos of n x is what? Minus of sin x का इंटीग्रेशन क्या होता है? sin x का इंटीग्रेशन होता है cos of n x का इंटीग्रेशन होता है sin x का इंटीग्रेशन is cos n x. Now using it again, minus of sin of n x का इंटीग्रेशन होगा minus of cos n x. So this is what? Minus minus plus cos of n x over n, and is again n square minus sin minus and again minus or minus plus. This is plus and this is integrating it is we will get twice time sin of n x का इंटीग्रेशन हमारे पास आया minus of cos n x. This is cos n x over n square. Here this come with minus and अगर हम इसे फिर से करेंगे ये हो जाएगा हमारे पास a n equals to 2 upon pi x square sin n x over n plus 2x cos n x over n square, and integration of cos n x is what? Sin n x minus 2 sin n x over n square, and q limit is 0 to pi. Here applying the limit, upon pi. When x equals to pi, pi square sin of n pi is what? 0. This is 0 plus twice time cos of n x. So this term will become 2 pi cos of n pi over n square minus 2 n pi, then is 0 minus sin, this is 0 minus of 2x is 0, this is 0, and sin of 0 is 0, this is 0. So we will get here 2 upon pi into 2 pi cos of n pi over n square. Pi से pi cancel. This is 4 over n square is what? Cos of pi is -1, cos of 2 pi is 1, cos of 3 pi is -1, cos of 4 pi is 1. So we can write this 4 upon n square minus 1 raised to the power n. This is our a n. Now similarly you will find bn. So what is your bn? What is our bn? Bn is what? 1 upon pi minus pi to pi. F of x is what? X plus x square into sine of nx dx, which can be written as 1 upon pi integration minus pi to pi x sine nx dx plus integration minus pi to pi x square sine nx dx. Now here this x is what? Odd function. Sine is what? Odd function, and odd function is what again? This is even function. Here this is even function x square. Sine is what? Odd function. So the multiplication of even or odd is what? Odd function. So applying the basic conditions of the integration, this is the even function, this is the odd function. So this integration becomes 0. This integration value becomes 0, and this becomes twice time of integration. So this is twice time 0 to pi x of sine nx dx plus 0. Now integrating it by 2 parts. Integrating it by parts 2 upon pi 0 to pi. Resting x sine of nx is what? Cos of nx over n minus sine के साथ minus of integration x का डिफरेंशिएशन किया 1 into minus of cos nx over n dx. The limit is 0 to pi. It can be written as 2 upon pi x minus x cos nx over n minus and minus plus, and this is become sine nx over n square. The limits are 0 to pi. Now putting the limits, 2 upon pi minus x is pi cos of n pi over n plus when sine of n pi is not 0, minus x is 0, 0 minus or minus plus, this is 0. So here we will get 2 upon pi here minus pi upon n into cos of n pi. This pi cancel out. This is minus 2 upon n, and cos of n pi is what? Minus 1 raised to the power n. This is your constant bn. Here we have find the values of a0, an and bn. So the function can be written in form of Fourier series as f of x, x plus x square is equals to a0 is what? Pi square over 3 plus summation n from 1 to infinity a and bn is what? 4 over n square minus 1 raised to the power n cos of nx plus this is minus sign minus 2 upon n minus 1 raised to the power n sin of nx. तो हमने फंक्शन को इस फॉर्म में लिख दिया, तो खोल के लिख सकते हो pi square over 3 plus when n equals to 1. So this is n square 1 minus 1 cos of x. This become minus 4 cos x, and that minus n is 1 minus or minus plus. This become 2 sin x. When n equals to 2, this is 4 over 4 to 1 positive cos equals to 2, 2 upon 2, 1, minus 1 का square 1, so this is sin of 2x and so on. ऐसे हमने फंक्शन को फूरियर सीरीज के फॉर्म में लिख दिया है. दिस इज x प्लस एक्स स्क्वायर इक्वल्स टू पाई स्क्वायर ओवर 3 माइनस 4 cos x एंड सो ऑन. ऐसे हम इस फंक्शन को लिख सकते हैं ना. यहाँ उन्होंने क्वेश्चन में फंक्शन का सीरीज का सम भी मांगा हुआ है. तो यहाँ पे साथ में क्वेश्चन भी है कि फाइंड द सम ऑफ द सीरीज, सम ऑफ दिस सीरीज एट द पॉइंट प्लस माइनस पाई, यानी x इक्वल्स टू प्लस माइनस पाई पॉइंट पे, x इक्वल्स टू प्लस माइनस पाई पॉइंट पे हमें सीरीज का सम फाइंड करना है. तो ये नोट कर लो, द सम ऑफ द सीरीज एट द पॉइंट, सम ऑफ द सीरीज एट द पॉइंट x इक्वल्स टू प्लस माइनस पाई इज डिफाइंड बाय f ऑफ माइनस पाई प्लस 0 प्लस f ऑफ पाई माइनस 0 ओवर 2. ये आपकी कोई फंक्शन है उसका सीरीज होता है. ये तब होता है जब वो डिरिचलेट कंडीशन को सेटिस्फाई करती है. मींस फूरियर सीरीज डिरिचलेट कंडीशन को सेटिस्फाई करती है. हेंस द सम ऑफ द सीरीज एट द पॉइंट x इक्वल्स टू प्लस माइनस पाई इज डिफाइंड बाय f ऑफ माइनस प्लस 0 प्लस f ऑफ पाई माइनस 0 ओवर 2. ये फंक्शन का सम होता है. तो यूजिंग दिस फॉर्मूला हम इस फॉर्म में हम सीरीज का सम फाइंड कर देंगे. तो ये हमारे से तो यहाँ हमारी जो सीरीज का सम होगा वो क्या होगा, या क्या है, x इक्वल्स टू प्लस माइनस पाई. तो यहाँ पे आपका f ऑफ x क्या है, x प्लस एक्स स्क्वायर. तो जो सम होगा वो ये हो जाएगा f ऑफ माइनस पाई, यानी f ऑफ x प्लस एक्स स्क्वायर है. तो दिस इज x प्लस एक्स स्क्वायर एट पाई. तो इसको ऐसे लिख देना, माइनस पाई पुट करना है x की जगह, f ऑफ x प्लस एक्स स्क्वायर. तो माइनस पाई यानी माइनस पाई प्लस माइनस ऑफ पाई का स्क्वायर, दिस इज योर प्लस 0 प्लस f ऑफ पाई माइनस 0 क्या हो जाएगा, पाई माइनस 0 बोले तो पाई, पाई बोले तो पाई प्लस पाई स्क्वायर और 2 इज इक्वल्स टू माइनस पाई प्लस पाई स्क्वायर प्लस पाई स्क्वायर और 2 माइनस पाई से पाई कैंसिल आउट. दिस 2 पाई स्क्वायर एंड सम ऑफ द सीरीज इज डिफाइंड एट x इक्वल्स टू प्लस माइनस पाई इक्वल्स टू पाई स्क्वायर. तो ऐसे हम सीरीज का सम फाइंड करेंगे यूजिंग दिस फॉर्मूला, अप्लाइंग दिस फॉर्मूला. ये क्लियर है? नाउ हमने ये फूरियर सीरीज पढ़ी. अब हम बात करते हैं अगर आपका फंक्शन इवन है या ऑड है. तो फूरियर सीरीज फॉर इवन फंक्शन है, फूरियर सीरीज फॉर इवन फंक्शन. तो सबसे पहले तो पता ही होगा कि इवन फंक्शन क्या होता है, f ऑफ माइनस एक्स इक्वल्स टू f ऑफ x, देन द फंक्शन इज व्हाट, इवन, and f of minus of x equals to minus of fx, then the function is called odd. So using this property, f of minus x equals to f of x, then the function is even. f of minus x equals to minus of fx, then the function is called odd function. So here using the functions property even and odd, we will find the Fourier series. Now if we have to given the function is even function, and we can say if f of minus x equals to f of x, then Fourier series of f of x. तो f of x की Fourier series हमारी क्या होती है, हमने ये पढ़ा है f of x equals to a0 plus summation n from 1 to infinity an cos of nx plus bn sin of nx. ये हमारी Fourier series होती है where we have a0 equals to 1 upon 2 pi minus pi to pi f of x dx. An equals to 1 upon pi minus pi to pi f of x cos of nx dx, and Bn is 1 upon pi minus pi to pi f of x into sin of nx dx. ये हमारे पास है कि जब आपका फंक्शन तो फूरियर सीरीज है, कोई फंक्शन f(x) की वो इस फॉर्म में दी जाती है. नाउ वी नो दैट द फंक्शन f(x) इज द इवन फंक्शन. नाउ वी आर गिवन दैट we know that the function f(x) is even function. Then using the property of even function, now what is your a0? Here a0 is 1 upon 2 pi minus pi to pi f of x dx. Now we know that the function f(x) is even. Function f(x) is even function. Then applying the property of integration, it can be written as 1 upon 2 times twice of 0 to pi f of x dx. Here it can be reduced as 1 upon pi 0 to pi f of x dx. This is what? This is your a0. Similarly, an can be written as an is what? An equals to 1 upon pi minus pi to pi f of x cos of nx dx. This is what? Now this fx is what? Even function. We know that this is even function. Cos is even function. So then even multiplication of two even function is what? Even. So applying the property of integration, it can be written as 1 upon pi twice times 0 to pi f of x cos of nx dx. Either we can say that this stands to that an equals to 2 upon pi 0 to pi f of x cos of nx dx. This is your an when the function is even function. Clear है? Now similarly, what will be your bn? What is your bn? Bn equals to 1 upon pi minus pi to pi f of x sin of nx dx. Now here we know that the function of x is given that this is even function, but we know that sin of nx is what? Odd function, and the even and odd function is again what? Odd function. So applying the property of integration, this integration becomes 0. So here what is our bn is 0. So we can say that the function is even function. The Fourier series is defined by when your function is even function, then the Fourier series f of x is defined by a0 plus summation n from 1 to infinity an cos of nx. Since bn is 0, or where a0 is what? a0 is equals to 1 upon pi 0 to pi f of x dx, and an is equals to 2 upon pi 0 to pi f of x cos of nx dx. ये क्लियर है कि जब आपको when the question is given or you will find that the function is even function, then we directly can write it as the function is even function. So the Fourier series of the even function is given by f of x equals to a0 plus summation n from 1 to infinity an cos of nx, where a0 equals to 1 upon pi 0 to pi f of x dx, and an equals to 2 upon pi 0 to pi f of x cos of nx dx. Similarly, if you are given that the function f x is odd function, if the function f of x is odd function, then in that case what will be there? With the function odd function, then what is your a0? a0 is given by 1 upon 2 pi minus pi to pi f of 0, so we will get here a0 equals to 0. Similarly, what is your an equals to 1 upon pi minus pi to pi f of x cos of nx dx. Now we are to given that the function fx is what? Odd function, and we know that cos of function is what? Even function. So then even and odd function is again what? Odd function. So this integration becomes 0 from the property of integration. So here we will get that an equals to 0. Now what is your bn? Bn is what? 1 upon pi minus pi to pi f of x sin of nx dx. Now here the function fx is what? Odd function. Sin function is what? Odd function. The multiplication of two odd and odd function is what? Again odd function. This is even function. Multiplication of two odd function is even function. So the integration can be written as 1 upon pi. The integration becomes twice time. It can be directly, we can write it 2 upon pi 0 to pi f of x sin of nx dx. This is your bn. So from this we can write that when the function is odd function, we can easily say that the Fourier series of odd function is defined by f of x equals to a0 is 0, an is 0, so summation n from 1 to infinity bn sin of nx, where bn is defined by 2 upon pi 0 to pi f of x sin of nx dx. Is clear? So when the question comes to you and you see that the function is odd and even function, then you can apply direct from the even and odd function definition of Fourier series directly formulas and solve the question easily. Let's take an example of this. Like there is a function f of x equals to x defined as minus pi to pi. Now find the Fourier series of the function f of x equals to x. Now here we know that f of minus x is what? Minus of x is what? Minus of f(x). So here our function of x is what? Odd function. So applying the odd function, the Fourier series of the odd function is written by f of x equals to summation n from 1 to infinity bn sin of nx, where bn is defined by 2 upon pi 0 to pi f of x sin of nx dx. Now we will find the value of bn. Bn is what? Bn equals to 2 upon pi 0 to pi f of x is what? X sin of nx dx. Integrating it by y parts, 2 upon pi x minus cos of nx over n minus plus x sin cos this is sin nx over n square 0 to pi is what? 2 upon pi when the limit is minus pi cos of n pi over n plus when putting pi sin of n pi is 0, when putting x equals to 0, cos of 0 is 1 but x is since x is 0, this 0, sin of 0 is 0. So this is here. What will we get? We will get here we will get minus 2 upon pi into pi cos of n pi over n. So this is minus 2 upon n cos of n pi is what? Minus 1 raised to the power n. So here this is our bn. Bn is what? Minus 2 upon n minus 1 raised to the power n. So the function in the Fourier series form can be written as summation and from 1 to infinity minus 2 upon n minus 1 raised to the power n sine of nx. This is here x, so we can write the function in the form of Fourier series x. You can explain it as x equals to n equals to 1 minus plus, this is 2 sine x, n equals to 2, this is minus 2 से 2 cancel, this is sine of 2x, n equals to 3 minus and minus plus, this becomes twice upon 3 sine 3x, x equals to 4 and so on. This is about the Fourier series and how to solve the Fourier series question. And when the function is given you that the function is a even function or either function is odd function, then you can use the properties of even function or odd function, and directly we can write the Fourier series for even and odd function, so you can easily solve by it. आज के लिए सिर्फ इतना ही, फिर नेक्स्ट क्लास में पढ़ते हैं.